Good morning, and welcome to our Monday morning video. I'm Melisa Nielsen with Waldorf Essentials. I want to just have a fun day today. Just a fun day. First though, y'all are going to listen to my TED Talk about our Gratitude Week sale, and then I'm going to tell you about freebies. Some awesome free stuff for Advent we have. More than one thing. I'm super excited. So, first, my little TED Talk about our gratitude sale. If you are not a Thinking, Feeling, Willing member and you'd like to be one, now is a really good time. I'm just going to tell you. So there are like some changes that are happening at the end of the year. Like right now, you can get hard copies for life when you purchase our program and when you purchase with the lifetime option. That's going away in December, at the end of December. So in 2020, that will not be, everybody who's currently purchased will obviously continue to have that perk, but that's going away for new purchases then. That everybody that moves into the program in 2020 and after will have to pay for their hard copies. Not a lot. We have a discount for people that are our members, but it won't be free anymore. So if it's something you've been thinking about, now is really the time. I also can't guarantee that we're not going to raise the price a little bit in 2020. Probably not in January, not at the beginning of the year, but definitely, towards probably the end of the first quarter as we start into the new school year. Why, you might ask? Well, because we're adding more people, it's more work for us, and we're in this space where we want to be able to serve everybody, and we want to be able to serve everybody appropriately. And with that, we are adding more staff, and so there are more expenses with that. And you know what? It's a pretty dang good program. For you to be able to get all of your homeschooling career taken care of for $700, like $697. That's a spanking deal. That is less than one payment to most schools. One. And we're talking about all of it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So we were at, Danielle Bertoa asked if we just purchased Thinking, Feeling, Willing, but on the payment plan, do we
You're still fine. Yes.
Do we still receive printed materials?
You do, after 6 payments. So when you purchase on a payment plan with us, after the 6th payment, then you can request your hard copies. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't pay the full thing up front, but I really want to get in before the end of the year, like now's a good time, because right now, instead of our regular $74 a month for the payment plan, it's only $58. And so for $58 a month, for 12 months, then you get the whole program. After your 6th payment, then you can request hard copies, and you're still grandfathered into that same hard copies for life deal that we're doing through the end of 2019. So hopefully that helps. We've had some questions about that. Hopefully that helps clear some things up. And I just want to say, I get some funny emails and some funny messages like, Melissa, it's like December, right? And I got to buy Christmas presents. And this is what I'm going to say, Mama. So hear me. We're talking about your kids' education here. We're not talking about My Little Pony or Rainbow Stacker. We're talking about your child's education from here on in. So let's get some perspective. Because here's what I know about women and men who really want something. They figure out a way to get it. So when we have our priorities in the right place, and we know what we want for our children, and we know what we want for ourselves, because this is a journey of self-discovery and a journey for your children. When we know what we want, then guess what? We find ways to make it happen. And I know it. I watch it every day. I know women who are, oh my gosh, I can't afford that. And I'm going to pony up and figure out how to find the money for this Ostheimer toy. Listen, I understand, because I have been that woman. So, if this is important to you, if your child's education is important to you and you need a guide, because I'm telling you, there's a ton of information out there on the internet for Waldorf homeschooling. There's a ton. And if you want to be the mom that goes and hunts it all down, that's great. I'm not your gal for that. But if you want a roadmap, I'm the only one with the roadmap. And a damn good roadmap. Oh, I swore on the morning video. Sorry. It's a dang good roadmap. And it's a roadmap that will take you through all the steps for all the grades. Why? Because I've actually done it. I'm the only one who's actually done it. All of it, all the way. So I know what it's like to have kids that are up all night. I know what it's like to have kids that are on the spectrum. I know what it's like to have a partner that you don't get along with. Not my current partner. I know what it's like to go through a divorce. I know what it's like to have a bunch of kids. I know what it's like to sit in the middle of a room full of people and feel completely alone. I know what it's like. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. What I want for you is for you to be able to say, oh, there's a roadmap. I'm going to take it because this journey is amazing and you need some help and some guidance. And I am a master at this. I've been at it for a long time. And I don't have any problem saying that I'm a master. People message me all the time. I go, Melissa, your ego's so giant. I go, actually, maybe, but I am dang good at what I do and I help people. And this is a path that you need help on. So again, our program is through tomorrow is a spanking good price. So you can get it if you're on, Eric will put the link in Facebook's feed, and we'll also have it on the download for YouTube. If you are on Instagram, it is the second link in our link tree when you click on our bio. And for those of you who are just listening, it is it is waldorfessentials.com/November with a little N, not a big N. And so if you have questions and you feel moved by what I've said, please message me. I'm happy to help you because this is a situation that that you need help with, and I'm happy to be that guy. So hold on one second.
Oh, I had a question I thought would be good to ask for everybody here. Jacqueline Tricia Harlow, I'm assuming we're talking about hard copy. She says, what if we are an annual member?
If you are an annual member, then when you re-up your annual membership, then you can get your hard copy with that when you re-up your annual membership.
But you get a hard copy for the year that you're buying for.
Yes, but that's all. Just for each year you have to re-up. Right now, our specials for Gratitude Week include if you just like, hey, this sounds really good, but I really want to try it because I just don't trust myself to jump into something else. Listen, I get you. To jump into something else that I don't think I'll use or I don't know if I'll use, but I really hope I'll use it. Then we have a $45 1-month trial of the program. Now that doesn't include our music program. It doesn't include coloring with block crayons, the big program usually does. And it does not include curriculum, but it includes the mom lessons. And you get to come to office hours with me for the next month. So that alone is worth way more than $45. So $45 for 1-month trial. And at the end of that trial, you'll have the option to buy the full program. So there's that. If you are sure you're ready and you just want to jump onto the monthly membership, that is $58 and you can get that on the November link as well. If you are like, nope, I'm ready, I'm all in, and you want our other specific amazing bonus that we have going right now, because this is for the moms that are really struggling with, maybe you just feel like you're managing behaviors and you're managing everything so much, but you're not really thriving. We are adding our new Parents in Sync, which was formerly called Families in Sync, Parents in Sync program to full pay and to pay. We opened a to-pay option today for those that are like, nope, I'm ready, I'm all in. And that program in itself, Parents in Sync, is going to really hold your hand on how to get all of those positive parenting and conscious parenting nuggets that you've been collecting and all that attachment parenting stuff that you've been carrying around, but your kids are still brats. We're going to help you because I have to tell you, it's not about your kids. I'll help you with that. In fact, Eric and I will both help you. That's something that we work with families on, and we just finished up a beta for this newer program. We've been running that program for a few years, but we've been doing it one-on-one with families, and now we're doing it in a group setting. And when we have been super impressed with what we found with the families that we've been working with. So we've been working with 15 families for the last month, and it's helping us do a lot of refining for the program. And what's funny is people say to me, I'm already a Thinking, Feeling, Willing member. Do I really need that? And I will tell you, we had in the beta, we had a couple of Thinking, Feeling, Willing members the ones that like knocked it out of the park were the ones that did all the work that I said to do. Even if it was simple, even if they thought they had done it before, those moms are like zooming. They've got huge change in their house. Everybody's getting along. They're a better place with their partner. They're in a better place with behaviors with their kids, and they're feeling really good. So even though it's like simple stuff, it's just that act of like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's too easy. If you do the work, you will see the change, but you have to be willing to do the work. And you have to be willing to bring your partner in and say, hey, listen, we made these kids together. We're doing this program together, and you work on it together. So that's included with the single pay option and the 2-pay option. And if you know you're already a member and you're like, oh, but I want that new thing, we will be launching that next Monday on the 9th. So we're going to be talking about that, and we'll actually have a free class later on this week that you'll see some information about later. So if you think maybe I need that program, then you definitely want to sort of watch out for our free class, because we'll be doing a free class. I think we're doing it on Friday. So Monday is like a big planning day. We plan with Nicole, our assistant, on Fridays, and then stuff happens over the weekend and we go, oh no, we need to refine some things. So we're doing more planning today. So if you have any questions about us being the roadmap, about how we can guide you, about what it is that we do, please drop me a DM or a PM or send me a message if you're watching this later. I'm happy to help, because that's what we do. That's what we do. We help families, and I know I'm pretty in your face about our program. It's because it's really awesome. It really rocks, if I do say so myself. And it's not all just because of me. It's because of all the people that we have that work with us and that help us. And our members are pretty darn amazing, and they help us refine. So speaking of our members, one of our members asked me about a month ago, Melissa, are you going to do anything for Advent? Because I could really use like some self-care reminders or something. Are you going to do a class or something? And I don't have it in me to do a full-on class, but I do have it in me to do something a little more fun than that. I mean, classes are fun, but this is also fun. So if you are, Eric's going to drop the link in for Facebook, but the link for you guys on Instagram and for you guys watching later is also in our link tree. It is waldorfessentials.com/Advent, again with a small a, not a big A. Somehow, I just might rant here really fast. This is really fast rant. It used to be things were not case sensitive on the internet. Now everything's case sensitive. So small n and small a. If you go to the Advent page, you're going to see two things. You're going to see something for your children. We are giving away the Gnomes Yuletide Mystery ebook and a link to the videos so that you can actually do this with your children and have fun with it yourself. It's full of some recipes, it's full of stories, it's full of like what the Nielsen's do during Advent. And if you've been following us on Instagram, you saw my post for our first week yesterday. And I did talk a little bit last week about what we were doing for Advent. So we found these great, I'm just gonna tell you, if you're near a Michael's, go see if they still have them on sale. These great wooden Advent calendars. And they're not like great, it's not amazing wood. It's, I don't even, what is that, balsa wood, Daddy, that they're made out of? It's some kind of very thin wood, but they're wooden and they're really pretty. And really simple. So we got each person in our house, we got one for, and they were like, let's see, they were like $7.50 because they were half off. So go see, if you live near Michael's, go see if they still have them today. We got one for everybody because our idea this year was, and it was Soraya's idea, our 8.5-year-old, she said, I don't just want to do a candy calendar this year. And Sam was like, shut your mouth. He was like, why do you not just want candy? But she said, no, I want to do something more fun. And so I listened to her and she said, what if we did presents and candy and notes? And I, like in my head, I'm like adding up all the dollars. I said, what if we did 4 presents, 1 for each week, some candy and some notes? So that made my mama heart feel better. So we got those great the advent calendars. And like I said, you can see them on our Instagram. And we got those, and we spent yesterday afternoon filling them all up with notes. So we each wrote love notes to each other. So Daddy wrote notes for me and Sam and Soraya. I wrote notes for Dad and Sam and Soraya. Soraya wrote notes for Dad and Sam and me. You get the picture. So each person had to write it. We divided it up, so we only each had to write 4 notes per person in our house the way it is right now. We will also be doing it for our big boys, so shh, I hope they're not listening. You guys are going to get some stuff in the mail. We're going to send notes to them. But we also did like some small gifts for each other on each day. And one of the reasons why I was okay with that is because I hate having the big giant like present-a-thon at the end of the month. So we've always looked for ways to sort of split it up a little bit, because it really helps that crazy buzz that is going on with children, and they don't like the way they feel. There's so much anxiety for kids and for moms. It also splits it up over paychecks, you guys, and it allows you to just sort of go through and have a more peaceful season. So in giving 4 gifts, it will help us not give so many at Christmas. And of course we have St. Nicholas this week too. So it's like the first week is this double whammy, good, fun, exciting week. But if you want some other Advent ideas and stories, go download the book. So again, it's under waldorfessentials.com/Advent, and it's our Gnomes Yuletide mystery book, or Advent mystery. We read this out loud, I think it was 2 years ago, for families, and I think that you'll like getting a little eye into it. So the story is a story that came from our Before the Journey book, and so if you have that, you have the story as well. We've made some edits and changed some things around and added projects to it, so that you've got craft projects for every week if you'd like, and there's recipes as well. So there's that. But then just for mom, there's also on that same page a self-care advent calendar that we made. So I want you to print it out and have it near you, or even if you don't want to print it out and you want to have it on your phone so that you can go look at it every day. Maybe you replace the desktop on your computer so you can look at it every day. And it's not just that. I also want you to follow us on Telegram. So the Telegram app, you can download it on your phone, and you can also access it on your computer. Unless you have a Chromebook like I do, you have to access it through the Chrome browser. And you go to Telegram and you look me up. So if you look up Melissa's Advent self-care, just start typing that in. It should come up. And if you have trouble, just drop me a note and I'll help you. But when you do that, Telegram is a free texting service, and they're really committed to having texting be free and be private. And so it's great because it allows me to send texts right to your phone. And we started it last night, with the first day being yesterday. But if you hop on, then you should be able to, I think, see all of the past messages as well. And what I'm doing is I'm taking this Advent calendar and I'm expanding upon each little thing each day. So yesterday's was make a plan. You know me, I'm all about making a plan, right? But why am I about making a plan? Well, the reason why I'm about making a plan is if we don't plan to make something happen, it won't happen. And we'll get to the end and we'll be like, dang it didn't happen. But if you have a plan, there's a much higher chance of things happening. So the first day was to really suggest that you make a plan. And with that plan, what I mean for you to do is I want for you to look at the Advent calendar, and I want you to look at where you are in your stage of mothering. So if you're in the very early childhood stages, and I realize some of us are going to have our feet in a couple of different worlds, but if you are in that early childhood stage, you are focused on being exhausted a lot. I remember that stage very well. So you're exhausted a lot. So when you look at this Advent calendar, I want you to look at the things that you know will restore you and give you peace and give you rest. So you might be looking at the taking naps ones, or the, getting out by yourself one, just so that you can really have that space alone. If you're in that next phase, that phase that's, you're not wiping bums anymore, but you're sort of navigating fights sometimes, because especially if you have more than one child. Although I do know that one child can argue with themselves, because we've seen that. But you're in that space of, it's kind of emotionally exhausting because your like head is spinning constantly and there's so much talking and you're thinking to yourself, it's so much easier when you couldn't talk or you didn't have so many big opinions. And you're mourning early childhood a little bit, but you're like, yay, this next space is fun and tiring. So you're a little more emotionally exhausted. And so I want you to look at this Advent calendar and pick out the things that would feel best to you when you're in that emotionally exhausted place. And then if you've got adolescents and older children, sometimes we feel like, they don't need us anymore. And that feels kind of crappy when you get to that space the first time. See, I'm over it now because I have 5 children, so I'm not in that space anymore because I have watched them grow into adulthood and see how much they actually still need me. And that's totally okay. But when we're first in that space, it sort of feels like, oh no, they want to be with their friends so much. And oh no, they want to be away from me so much. And and it feels a little displacing. But during that time is a great time to dive back into who you are and let her shine some more. So if you're in that space, I want you to look on this calendar and look at the things that are there specifically for you so that you can really sort of feed yourself this month. This month is incredibly busy, and even if you're not celebrating Christian Advent and Christmas, I would imagine even if you are a Jewish family and you're celebrating Hanukkah, there's a lot of prep that goes into that as well. So, and even aside from that, even if you're not doing anything spiritual and all of it is secular, you're probably really busy. You've got more obligations than normal this month. So I want you to just take the time. And if you missed my text yesterday, and you're just getting day 1 today, I want you to take the time, take a deep breath, and actually make a little plan. Even if that plan is that once a week you're going to make sure you get up and have time to yourself. Or once a week you're going to use some of that evening time because your kids are going to bed on time, right? So that you can get some time in for yourself. So that you got yourself nourished for this month. Because my hope is if you can be nourished during this month of crazy, that you can teach yourself how to be nourished during normal months. During months when there aren't like a festival around every corner. So my hope is for you that you do that. And again, join us on Telegram and you'll get our text messages. I'm super excited to use Telegram in a broadcast capacity. And if it goes well for this, we'll continue to use it for nuggets and tidbits because I'll be driving down the road and I'll think, man, I wish I could share that with everybody. And yeah, I could stop and make an Instagram post, but it's so much easier to just send a text over Telegram. So you can join us that way. Again, it's the Telegram app, and if you look at Melissa Nielsen, and it's Melissa with 1 S, Nielsen Nielsen. So if you have trouble, just let me know. I am super excited for this month. Next week, what are we doing? Oh, next week we are talking about just sort of my top 10 favorite gifts for kids of all ages, including adults. So, and they're not all going to be like wooden Waldorfy gifts. So if for those of you who think, oh my gosh, my kids are out of that stage, I don't even know what I could do gift giving wise, for sure, join me. And I have to tell you this sweet little tidbit. Eric and I teach Sunday school to 6-year-olds, mainstream 6-year-olds, super sweet kids. Always restoring my faith in humanity, the 6-year-olds are. So I asked them yesterday, what are you guys wanting for Christmas? What are you hoping for Christmas? And, we had somebody asked for an Elsa doll, and we had somebody, and my children are not in this class, so it's a great little eye into the world. One little girl asked for an Elsa doll, which I totally get. I went to see Frozen 2, and Elsa's new clothes are spot on. So she was wanting this doll, and this other little boy was talking about some cars that he wanted, and this other little girl was talking about these unicorns that she wanted. And one little girl said, she's so sweet, I would like binoculars. I said, oh, then I cue in, binoculars? She said, yes, I like to look at nature. I said, oh, then you might want a nature journal. She goes, oh, that's on my list too. Made my heart so happy. I went to her mother afterwards. I said, I love your daughter so much. She started laughing. She said, why, what did she do today? I said, she said she wanted binoculars and a nature journal. She said, I know. And last year she just wanted a clipboard. We were laughing. Amazing child. all of the children are amazing and fun, but it's a lot of fun when you can find a child that you can tell is very much into nature and the world around her. And so I was very impressed indeed, but I do love all of our students that we teach. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful week. Join us again next week if you'd like to talk about gifts and gift giving. And it's not just going to be, geared towards Christmas, because I know there are a lot of families that, that do all the gifts during Hanukkah or for other occasions as well. So join us if you're just really wanting some gift giving ideas. And I'll talk to you about some of the things that we purchased this year and some of the things that we still have yet to purchase. But anyway, join us, and I hope you have a wonderful week. This first week of Advent, even if you don't really celebrate Advent, it's a great time to take care of yourself. So have a wonderful week, and we will see you later. Bye.